Hello, fellow beings of light, and welcome to not only our 3/20/25 Spring Equinox activation, but the companion biweekly activation for this week's podcast episode, because I'm apparently being called to combine them. But Jessa, you haven't released this week's podcast episode yet. I know, right? I'm as confused and intrigued as all of you probably are by that. I am just doing what I'm told, though, and that means releasing things out of our usual order for whatever higher purpose my team, or rather our guides for today, have in mind this week. Speaking of our guides for today's activation, let's go ahead and get into them, since they are already making their presence very much known around me and through me. They are the divine masculine and the divine feminine. That is how I am going to refer to them in both this activation and the accompanying podcast. You can see and refer to them as the Divine Father and the Divine Mother if you so choose. That is totally fine. It will not interfere with your ability to receive at all, because those differing terms, they're the same exact thing. The Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, they are the birth of polarity, the original separation, the first creation of source beyond itself. They are also the first instance of the illusion of duality going astray from its intended purpose. The first instance of one or the other, but never both at the same time thinking. An illusion that has expanded infinitely throughout each separation, each creation beyond oneself that has taken place in the time since. The illusion that we are being called to dispel, to overcome right now in the present, to shift our duality perspectives back to polarity, so that we can see our oneness truly, not only across timelines and dimensions for individual soul aspects, but across the 6 soul aspects that make up our light body, and across the divine masculine and divine feminine aspects within each of us that are the opposing extremes of the single frequency that is source. The divine masculine and the divine feminine themselves, they want us to know and understand that they have made this shift, that they have recognized that they are 2 parts of a whole and not separate ones, that they reached this understanding prior to the inception and development of the experiment that we call our human experience or existence. And now it is our turn. This is why they interfered. No, interceded is the word they want me to use. Okay. This is why they interceded on behalf of us and all of creation, both below and above, prior to its inception and development. Why, for the second time in their existence, they broke themselves off into 12 pieces, 6 each, or rather, it was 13 the second time around, to begin a chain reaction that would start with that creation of a new council of 12, half masculine and half feminine aspects, with a 13th neutral member that contained a piece of both of them, a full piece. That 13th being my light body, Leora, a chain reaction that would lead to those 13 very gifted children being utilized in the development of the experiment and being turned into 12 pillars, 12 gateways that the original Council of 12 would send to Earth and believe that they could use to maintain duality, separation, their power until a time of their choosing. And a 13th pillar to remain above, to serve as a vault, the holder of the original, untainted, untampered with, probable codes, templates, and blueprints, which she created for the experiment, which my light body, Leora, created for the experiment. And in case it's not obvious, that last part obviously didn't go to plan, because my light body isn't standing on some kind of pillar somewhere as a vault, because I'm here on Earth. I am here as one of the 13th pillars, separated soul aspects. And that is because Isis, one of the original Council of 12, interceded to make that possible, both on the divine masculine and divine feminine's behalf, as well as her own. A chain reaction that will end with those 13. Their separated soul aspects, repairing the tainted and tampered with versions of what each of the 12 developed for the experiment. And the 13th restoring the original codes, templates, and blueprints, replacing them or repairing them in a way that will actually allow the experiment to function as originally intended. A chain reaction that will end in the shift from duality back to polarity through them, through the new Council of 12, plus one apparently, back to the same oneness, the same two halves of the same single frequency that the divine masculine and divine feminine themselves have already rediscovered and acknowledged. The emotion, especially the passion I am receiving through that intent, is incredible. We, the 13, and the human race as a whole, we are the universe's do-over. We are the universe's attempt to get it right this time. We are the universe's opportunity for all to recognize that the separation that is creation intentionally created an illusion of duality so that we could think, feel, and create beyond ourselves, in contrast, in opposing extremes, to recognize that it was never meant to be anything more than just that, an illusion that allows for creation beyond ourselves. To recognize the truth that we are, that we always have been, that we always will be, one at our very core, at our heart center, along the same single frequency that is source. And to reconnect with the 6 soul aspects of our light bodies, to share this with them and reawaken them from their current state of inertia so that they can share it with all above, so that we can all return to one as was always intended, both above and below. I both feel like I've gotten off course and that I haven't. I thought I knew the direction this discussion and activation were going to take in the light of what I've already received for this week's podcast episode. But I'm wrong about that, or maybe I'm not. I guess we'll see once that episode has been recorded. Yep, not the time to worry about that. Okay, how this all connects in with the energies of the spring equinox, how this all is totally on track with those energies. The spring equinox, it is a time of rebirth, of new beginnings, of new growth. We are being called to heed the divine masculine and the divine feminine's call to see and acknowledge ourselves as the reborn, as the second attempt at the experiment that was creation, that began with and unfolded from them, reborn here on earth. We are being called to heed the divine masculine and the divine feminine's call to see and acknowledge not only ourselves, but this very moment in our present timelines and dimensions as a new beginning, as an opportunity to begin to see the illusion of duality and separation for nothing more than what it is, an illusion. We are being called to heed the divine masculine and the divine feminine's call to not only see and acknowledge, but to grow into the polarity, the oneness of each and every frequency around us, in our thoughts, in our emotions, in our experiences, in our very being, all the way back to their own frequency, to our own frequency with source. Ari husabagaska de katagoshka, Ari husabagaska de kadoshka de karaska de goshka de karaska de katiska de katia. The time is now. The catalyst for change, for the shift from duality and separation back to polarity and oneness that needs to occur, is us. We are the universe's hope, the universe's potential, the universe's return to itself, to truth, to pure oneness, pure light and love. If you are open to not only receiving the activation and light codes that will be shared here today, but to stepping into and embodying these acknowledgments, this rebirth, this new beginning, this growth that the divine masculine and the divine feminine are calling us to, I ask that you simply say yes, either out loud or within your mind. Good. Now, as I take a few moments to drop in and connect even deeper with both of them, which is not easy because it is a lot, as well as to drop in and connect with your energy field, wherever you might be and whenever you might be listening as well. I invite you to sit or lie down in a comfortable position, to close your eyes, rest your palms facing up, either on your lap or at your side, and begin breathing slowly and deeply. In through your nose and out through your mouth. As you do so, let go of any thoughts, emotions, or circumstances that may interfere with your ability to receive. Now, I want us to take 3 slow and deep breaths together. And with each inhale, I want you to think or say out loud, focusing on receiving my connection to all. And with each exhale, I want you to think or say out loud, focusing on releasing the illusion of separation. Focusing on receiving my connection to all. Focusing on releasing the illusion of separation. Focusing on receiving my connection to all. Focusing on releasing the illusion of separation. Focusing on receiving my connection to all. Focusing on releasing the illusion of separation. And with that last breath, that's interesting. They are actually calling me to repeat all, or rather some, of the journey we took during our 12/12 portal activation. Okay, continue breathing and allowing your mind and muscles to relax more and more, while I both try to remember what that was and see if I can pull up the YouTube transcript of that video, because they are really pulling me to do the same journey, but as a new experience with shifts in the intent and method and message. Okay, I think I see where they're going. One more deep breath. I want you to see yourself standing at the center of a circle in a clearing surrounded by trees, the dirt beneath your bare feet, and a night sky full of stars above your head. Sense your energy field shifting around you, shifting from the unseen into golden threads of light that are all that is you. Feel those threads swirling around you gently. Feel them brushing against your skin, entering your being through your mouth with each inhale, filling you with pure light, with your pure frequency, and exiting with each exhale, removing that which is not in alignment with your inner truths. Know that you are safe, that you are surrounded and protected by not only those threads, myself and the divine masculine and divine feminine, but by your own team and by something more that you can't quite see yet, but that you can sense. Continue breathing slowly and deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. Begin to feel those golden threads of light that are all that is you, expanding both within and even more so beyond you, creating almost what I'm seeing is a bubble of sorts around you, a bubble that is slowly lifting you from the ground below and carrying you upwards into the night sky above. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale out, allow those threads to remove and release any remaining doubts or fears about what you're being called to do today. Settle in to the feeling of being cradled by your bubble, being kept safe by it. Relax into that sensation as your bubble takes you higher and higher, closer and closer to the stars. And as we draw closer to them, allow yourself to feel your connection with them, your place of belonging amongst them. Not just to a particular constellation, planet, galaxy or galactic race, but a connection to all. Because it's not just a feeling of connection. Witness golden threads of light and energy similar to your own, emanating from all these sources around you, reaching towards you, connecting with your own threads, embracing your bubble and allowing it to rise higher still. These golden threads represent your connection to the energy, to the pure light of everyone and everything around you, both above and below. They are your connection to Source, your connection to us, your connection to all. Allow yourself to reach out to them, to feel along the edges of your bubble with your hands and fingers. And it's totally okay to bring them off your lap and to physically do that. To feel where those golden threads touch and intermingle with your own, with your energy, with your light. Feel and acknowledge them as your connection to all that is, all that has been, all that ever will be. Your connection to anything and everything you might ever need in your journey to remembrance and to reawakening into your wholeness, your oneness with yourself and with all. As was hinted at before, these threads are always around you. You can sense them in your day-to-day, even if you can't see them. They are yours to call upon, to access, to use, because you are one with them. You are them. Feel and acknowledge the power and the strength that is these threads, that connection, that your wholeness brings. Activate this knowledge, this gift. Integrate it into your very being. Allow yourself to embody it. Allow these golden threads that are you and all as one, this light that is you and all as one, to illuminate the separation you have known as the illusion that it is, to illuminate the truth, the connection that you see now before you and around you. Feel the flow of these connections. It may come in tingles along your arms, heat or chills, vibrations through different parts or all of your body, maybe even pressure surrounding you, but not in a bad way, in a supportive way, because those sensations you are feeling are yours. They aren't just being received by you. They are also emanating from you. Those sensations are where the two meet, receiving and giving, where your connection to all meets and joins together to connect, to share, to co-create, where your strength and power begins and ends. Take a few moments to settle into, to appreciate and honor those sensations, the connection that you are feeling to all from the safety and serenity of your bubble, as our guides, the divine masculine and feminine, step in fully to aid you in your activation and integration of these things. Ari usamar gras kara korish kara karais ku ari usamar karais kara karis kara kadi hush kara karbash kara kadi ari usamakash kara kates kush kara kadi ari usamakash kara kadi ari usamakas kara karush kara karis kara kadi ari usamakarish kara kadish kara kadi ari usamakarish hush kara baka Ari usanama, ari usamakash kadakadis kush kadakadis kadakadiska, ari ush kadakadish kush kadakadas kadakade, ari usamakarash kadakadis kadakurushka, ari usarabakash kadakadis kadakurush kadakadeska, ari ari sarabakash kadakadi, ari sarkadikidis kadakadi rush rabaka, ari usamakash kadakades kurush kadakadeska, ari usamakash kadakadesa, ari usarabash kadakadeska, ari usaramas kadakadeska. Ami usabakash kadakarush kadakadis 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 kadakadi. Ari usamakash kadakadis kush kadakadis kadakadis kadakadi. Ari usabakash kadakaras kadakadis kadakadu. Ari usamakash kadakadis kadakush kadakadi. Ari usamakash kadakadis kadakadi kush kadakadis kadakadis kadakadi. Ari usama. Ari usamakarash kadakadis ka. Ari usamashkara, ari usapakashkatakatis, ushkatapakashkatakati, ari usala, ari usamashara, ari usapakarashkatakatis, katakushkatakati, ari ushamakashkatakatis, ari sharabakashkatakatis, katakurushkatapakatis, katakatis. Ari usamakash katakati. Ari usamakash katakatis katakurush katakatis katakati. Ari samakarosh katakaras katakadios katakakush katakatas. Ari sarapakosh katakatis katakurush katakatis katakati. Ari sha. Ari shara. Ari sapakash katakarosh katakati. Ari usara, ari ushabakash katakadis katakadi, ari ushamakash katakadi, ari ushakarakadi, ari ushakarakadi. They are complete. Now, as what they have just shared with you, with all of us, continues to flow and settle into our energy field, I want you to allow the golden threads and energy surrounding and connecting with your bubble to carry forward in time to a timeline and dimension where we are no longer the universe's hope, the universe's potential, the universe's return to itself, to truth, to pure light and love. Because in that timeline and dimension, we have already been the catalyst for change, the shift from duality and separation back to polarity and oneness that the divine masculine and the divine feminine called us to be. Because we have succeeded at returning all above and below to true oneness with each other. Oneness that allows for the illusion of separation so that we can think, feel, and create beyond ourselves, in contrasts, in opposing extremes, without losing our awareness, our sight, and our feeling of that oneness, without losing the connection that you feel now through the threads surrounding and connecting with your bubble, your energy field, the golden threads that are you, that creation beyond source, beyond the divine masculine, beyond the divine feminine, beyond our galactic origins. What does this knowledge and connection, that return to your true self, to the universe's true self, as whole and one with all, without losing your sovereignty, without losing your ability to think, feel, and create in opposing extremes, in contrasts, that you are being shown right now feel like? What does it feel like? What does it look like? Whatever it is for you, focus on that feeling and repeat after me. I give myself permission to experience this feeling now, in the present. I give myself permission to experience this feeling throughout my journey. I deserve to experience this feeling always. I give myself permission to see this connection and oneness that exists all around me now, in the present. I give myself permission to see that it does, that it always has, that it always will. I deserve to see this connection and oneness always. Good. That feeling, that ability to see it whenever and wherever you want, that is yours. You need only give yourself permission to feel it, to see it, to connect with it. You need only acknowledge that feeling, that ability to see it, that it has a place, that it can exist in the in-between of where you and I and all are at right now in this journey back to wholeness that we are all on, and the future of us having crossed the finish line already. You need only be open to moving forward in the knowledge and connection, the feeling and sight you have been given today. You need only be open to experiencing and feeling them. You need only be open to seeing them in the steps that you and others take, in the momentary thoughts and feelings that come and go in the journey. And know that there will be moments and experiences, people and things, thoughts and feelings within that in-between time that may not look like that finish line or the steps toward it, but they can be and always are if you would only be open to seeing them in a different light, from a perspective of polarity instead of the illusion of duality, and acknowledge them as such. Be open to the idea that anything viewed as bad is along the same frequency of its opposite, good, and along the same frequency that is their center point, their balance point in the middle, that exists where that bad and good are one. It is always up to you which end of the frequency you lean toward. In any thought, in any feeling, in any experience, it is up to you to choose to find the balance of the in-between, where all of those things are one. In everything, every thought, every emotion, every experience, everyone and everything. Keep all that you've learned, felt, and seen during this momentary glimpse into the future timeline and dimension you are being shown as our guides, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, step in once again fully to activate and integrate your ability to do so. Arihusa makarashka kurushka karaska katiskula. Arihusa makashka katiska. Arihu salamash kadakarush kadakash kadakadi. Arihu samakarash kadakush kadakadais kadakadis kush kadakarash kadakadi. Arihu samakash kadakush kadakaras kadakis kadakurush kadakadi. Arihu samakash kadakarush kadakadis kadakadis kadakadi. Arihu samakash kadakush kadakaras kadakadi. Arihu samakash kadakaras kush kadakadis kadakadi. Arihu samakash katakadas kurush katakati. Arihu samakash katakadis kurush katakati. Arihu samakash katakadis kurush katapakash katakati. Arihu samakash kurush katapakash katakati. Arihu samakash katakati. Arihu samakash katakarush katakadis ka. Arihu samakash katakadis kurush katapaka. Arihu Ariya. Arihushamash Katakawosh Katakadeska. Ariyaru. Arihushamashara. Arihushamakash Katakarush Katakadis Katakarush Katakadi. Arihushamakash Katakawosh Katakakash Katakadiska. Arihuhara. Arihushamash Katakarush Katakadis Katakadi. Arihushamash Katakadi. Arihushamash Katakadis Katakush Katakash Katakadi. Arihushamash Katakush Katakaras Kurush Katakadis Katakaru. Arihushamash Katakush Katakadas Katakurush Katakaras Katakadi. Arihu Sarabakash Katakarush. Arihushama. Arihushamaga. Arish Katakash Kurush Katamakas Katakadi. Ariushalas Katakadi. Arihushamakas Katakurush Katakash Kurush Katakadi. Arihushamakas Kataku. Arihushamakas Katakaris Katakurush Katakadi. Arihi Shorush Barush Katakadas Katakadi. Arihushamakas Kurush Kataka. Arihi Arushada. Arihi Shabush Katapakarish Katakadiska. Awushabakash Katakade. Arishu Shamara. Ariurshamakash Katakada. Arihush Arabosh Kati. Adis Katakada. They are once again complete. As you allow this further activation and integration to settle in, I want you to feel your bubble slowly being released from the golden threads connecting with it, knowing that they're still there and that you can always call upon them, even if you cannot see them. Feel your bubble slowly begin to float back down, closer and closer to the circle and ground from which we began, and farther and farther away from the stars above. And as you settle back down onto the ground, to the dirt below your feet and the stars above your head, begin breathing slowly and deeply once again. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in the golden threads of your energy back into you as your bubble unravels, taking in and expanding all that you have received within you, and breathing them back out as unseen energy, allowing it to return to its usual place amongst your field. I will be silent while they do so. As the bubble has unraveled and your energy field has returned to its original state that it started in, I want you to see a pathway beginning to open up within the trees surrounding the circle you are standing in. And I want you to begin taking steps forward along it, out of this circle and back into your present surroundings, your awareness of them, knowing that you can return at any time that you would like, that you can feel and call upon and see those golden threads of connection, of your connection to all, any time that you would like. As you slowly begin to return to yourself and your body, repeat as many times as you need to. I am one with all. Separation is merely an illusion to facilitate creation. I am one with all. Separation is merely an illusion to facilitate creation. I am one with all. Separation is merely an illusion to facilitate creation. I am one with all. Separation is merely an illusion to facilitate creation. I'm going to go ahead and be silent so you can continue to do so, allowing the music to continue for a few minutes. And whenever you are ready, you may fully return to your surroundings and open your eyes. Thank you for joining myself and the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine today. And hopefully for this week's podcast, which should be releasing either tomorrow or Saturday, fingers crossed, guys, we wish you well in your journey forward. Ari wusabakas karkaro. Ari his wuskarara. Ari shkirkati.